All right. So what are we looking like? We're looking like lekker. Torah portion lecha. Bereshit 12, verse 1 to chapter 17, verse 27. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, get you out of your country and from your kindred and from your father's house unto a land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse him that curses you. And in you shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his woman, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and all the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh. And the Canaanite was then in the land. And Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said, unto your seed will I give this land. And there built he an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Beit El, and pitched his tent, having Beit El on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar unto Yahweh, and called upon the name of Yahweh. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the Negev. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Mitzrayim to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Mitzrayim, that he said unto Sarai his woman, behold now, I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Mitzrayim shall see you, that they shall say, this is his woman, and they will kill me, but they will save you alive. Say, I pray you, you are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and my soul shall live because of you. And it came to pass that when Abraham was come into Mitzrayim, the Mitzrayim beheld the woman that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. Come on. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Torah portion, Parshat Lake Leka, Bereshith, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through chapter 17, verse 27. Chapter 12. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, get you out of your country and from your kindred and from your father's house unto a land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. And you shall be a blessing. And you shall be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse him that curses you. And in you shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his woman, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and all the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh. And the Canaanite, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And Yahweh appeared unto wow. Plain of Moreh. And the Canaanite was then in the land. And Yahweh appeared unto And Yahweh appeared unto El-Abram and said, Unto your seed will I give this land. And there he built an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Beit El, and pitched his tent, having Beit El on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar unto Yahweh, and he called upon the name of Yahweh. And he called upon the name. And he called upon the name of Yahweh. And Avram journeyed, going on still toward the Negev. And there was a famine in the land, and Avram went down into Mitzrayim to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Mitzrayim, that he said unto El-Sarai, his woman, Behold now, I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, that when the Mitzrayim shall see you, they shall say, This is his woman, and they will kill me, but they will save you alive. Say, I pray you, you are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and my soul shall live because of you. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Mitzrayim, the Mitzrayim beheld the woman, that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen and he-asses and manservants and maidservants and she-asses and camels. And Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's woman. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this that you have done unto me? Why did you not tell me that she was your woman? Why said you, She is my sister, so I might have taken her to be my woman? Now therefore, behold your woman, take her and go your way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his woman and all that he had. Chapter 13. And Avram went up out of Mitzrayim, he and his woman, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the Negev. And Avram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the Negev, even to Beit El, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Beit El and Ai, unto the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. And there Avram called on the name of Yahweh. And Lot also, which went with Avram, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen of Avram's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaani and the Perizzi dwelled then in the land. And Avram said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray you, between me and you, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself, I pray you, from me. If you will take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the circles of the Yarden, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sidom and Amorah, even as the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Mitzrayim, as you come into Zoar. Then Lot chose him at all the circle of the Yarden. And Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves, the one from the other. Avram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the circle of the Yarden, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh exceedingly. And Yahweh said unto El-Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now your eyes and look from the place where you are northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see to you will I give it, and to your seed forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto you. Then Avram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto Yahweh. Chapter 14. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, the king of Shinar, Arioch, the king of Elasar, Kerdorla, Omer, Kedorla, Omer, Kedorla, Omer. Kedorla Omer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, the king of Amorah, Shina, the king of Admah, Shem Eber, the king of Zebim, the king of Zebim. Seviim, king of Seviim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. All these were joined together in the valley of Siddim, which is the salt sea. 12 years they served Kedorla Omer, and in the 13th year they rebelled, and in the 14th year came Kedorla Omer. Kedorla Omer. Came Kedorla Omer. Came Kedorla Omer, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaim and Ashtaroth Karnaim, and the Zuzim in Cham, and the Emim in Shabeh Kirat Atayim, and the Chorim in their Mount Seir, unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. And they returned and came to Ein Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekim, and also the Emerim that dwelt in Chatzon Tamar. And there went out of the king of Sidom, and the king of Amorah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Seviim, and the king of Bela, the same as Zoar. And they joined battle with them in the valley of Siddim, with Kedorla Omer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings with 5. And the valley of Siddim was full of slime pits. And the king of Sodom and Amorah fled and fell there. And they that remained fled to the mountain. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Amorah and all their victuals and went their way. And they took Lot, Avram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped and told Avram the Ivri, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Emery, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Avram. And when Avram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them into Chovah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back at all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the women also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedorla Omer. Kedorla Omer. Kedorla Omer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's valley. And Malki Tzedek, king of Shalem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of El Elyon. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Avram of El Elyon, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be El Elyon, which has delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, give me the persons and take the goods to yourself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto Yahweh El Elyon, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich, save only that which the young man have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, let them take their portion. Chapter 15. After these things, the word of Yahweh came unto Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am your shield and your exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Adonai Yahweh, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, behold, to me you have given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, this shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of your own generation shall be your heir. And brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward the heavens, and count the stars, if you be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall your seed be. And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am Yahweh that brought you out of Ur of the Kasdim to give you this land to inherit it. And he said, Adonai Yahweh, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And you shall go to your fathers in peace, and you shall be buried in a good old age. But in the 4th generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorim is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, Yahweh cut a covenant with Abram, saying, unto your seed have I given this land, from the river of Mitzrayim unto the great river, the river Parath, the Kenanim, and the Kenizzim, and the Kadmonim, and the Chittim, and the Perizim, and the Raphaim, and the Emorim, and the Canaanim, and the Girgashim, and the Yevusim. Chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's woman, bore him no children, and she had a handmaid, a Mitzri, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold now, Yahweh has restrained me from bearing. I pray you, go into my maid, that I may be that. Go into my maid. Go in unto my maid, that it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's woman, took Hagar, her maid, the Mitzri, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to the man Abram to be his woman. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon you. I have given my maid into your bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Yahweh judge between me and you. But Abram said unto Sarai, behold, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as it pleases you. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of Yahweh found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, Sarai's maid, whence came you, and whither will you go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hands. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, I will multiply your seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, behold, you are with child and shall bear a son, and shall call it his name Yishmael, because Yahweh has heard your affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of Yahweh that spoke unto her, El Roi, you see me. For she said, have I also here looked after him that sees me? Wherefore the well was called Be'er Lachai Roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar born Avram a son, and Avram called his son's name, which Hagar bore, Yishmael. And Avram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Yishmael to Avram. Chapter 17. And when Avram was 90 years old and 9, Yahweh appeared to Avram and said unto him, I am El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. And Avram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. Neither shall your name any more be called Avram, but your name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made you, and I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come out of you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your seed after you in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be Elohim unto you and to your seed after you. And I will give unto you and to your seed after you at the land wherein you are a stranger, at all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession. And I will be their Elohim. And Elohim said unto Abraham, you shall guard my covenant, therefore, you and your seed after you in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall guard between me and you and your seed after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise at the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every male child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger which is not of your seed. He that is born in your house and he that is bought with your money must need to be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised male child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. And Elohim said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, your woman, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. And I will bless her and give you a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear? And Abraham said unto Elohim, oh, that Yishmael might live before you. And Elohim said, Sarah, your woman, shall bear you a son indeed. You shall call his name Yitzchak. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Yishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Yitzchak, which Sarah shall bear unto you at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and Elohim went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and ate all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day, as Elohim had said unto him. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house, born in the house, bought with money of the stranger, were circumcised with him. Were circumcised with him. Haftarah, Yeshayahu, chapter 40, verse 27 through chapter 41, verse 16. Chapter 40. Comfort ye, my people, says your Elohim. Speak ye comfortably to Yerushalayim, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she has received of Yahweh's hand double for all of her sins. The voice of him that cries in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Yahweh. Make straight in the desert a highway for our Elohim. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. The voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as of the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flower fades, because the Ruach Yahweh blows upon it. Surely The people is grass. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our Elohim shall stand forever. O Zion, that bring good news. Get you up into the high mountain, O Yerushalayim, that bring good news. Lift up your voice with strength. Lift it up, be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Yehudah, behold your Elohim. Behold, Adonai Yahweh will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, or meted out heaven with a span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance? Who has directed the Ruach Yahweh, or being his counselor has taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he takes up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for an ascending smoke offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. To whom then will ye liken El, or what likeness will ye compare unto him? The workman melts a graven image, and the goldsmith spreads it over with gold and casts silver chains. He that is so impoverished that he has no oblation chooses a tree that will not rot. He seeks unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who establishes the circuit of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as locusts, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain and spreads them out as a tabernacle to dwell in. That brings the princes to nothing. He makes the judges of the earth as vanity. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth, and he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble. To whom then will ye liken me, or shall I be equal, says the Holy One? Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who has created these things, that brings out their host by number? He calls them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong in power. Not one fails. Why say you, O Yaakov, and speak, O Yasharel? My way is hidden from Yahweh, and my judgment is passed over from my Elohim. Have you not known? Have you not heard that Elohai Olam, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, faints not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He gives power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fail. But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Chapter 41. Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near. Then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings. He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who has wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, Yahweh, the first and with the last, I am he. The isles saw it and feared. The ends of the earth were afraid, drew near and came. They helped everyone his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smooths with the hammer, him that smote the anvil, saying, it is ready for the soldering. And he fastened it with nails, that it should not be moved. But you, Yasharel, are my servant, and Yaakov, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. You whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called you from the chief men thereof and said unto you, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not cast you away. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your Elohim. I will strengthen you. Yea, I will help you. Yea, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against you shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with you shall perish. You shall seek them and shall not find them, even them that contended with you. They that war against you shall be as nothing, as a thing of naught. For I, Yahweh Eloheka, will hold your right hand, saying unto you, fear not, I will help you. Fear not, your worm, Yaakov, and ye men of Yasharel. Yaakov, and ye men of Yasharel. Fear not. Fear not, you worm Yaakov, and ye men of Yasharel. I will help you, says Yahweh, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Yasharel. Behold, I will make you a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. You shall thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. You shall fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And you shall rejoice in Yahweh, and shall glory in the Holy One of Yasharel. Besarah Matidyahu, chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 17. The Sefer of the generation of Yahushua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Yitzchak, and Yitzchak begat Yaakov, and Yaakov begat Yehudah and his brethren. And Yehudah begat Peretz and Zerach of Tamar, and Peretz begat Hezron, and Hezron begat Aram, and Aram begat Aminadav, and Aminadav begat Nachshon, and Nachshon begat Salma, and Salma begat Boaz of Rachav, and Boaz begat Oved of Roth, and Oved begat Yishai, and Yishai begat David the king. And David the king begat Shalomah of her that had been the woman of Uriah. And Shalomah begat Rechavam, and Rechavam begat Abiyahu, and Abiyahu begat Asa, and Asa begat Yahushaphat, and Yahushaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Et Uziyahu, and Uziyahu begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Achaz, and Achaz begat Yechizkiyahu, and Yechizkiyahu begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Ammon, and Ammon begat Yoshayahu, and Yoshayahu begat Yechonyahu and his brethren, about the time they were carried away to Babel. And after they were brought to Babel, Yechonyahu et begat Shealtiel, and Shealtiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abihud, and Abihud begat Elakim, and Elakim begat Et Azur, and Azur begat Sadok, and Sadok begat Yochim, and Yochim begat El Ayil, And Eliel begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Matan, and Matan begat Yaakov, and Yaakov begat Yosef, the father of Miriam, of whom was born Yahusha, who is called Mashiach. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. And from David unto the carrying away into Babel are 14 generations. And from the carrying away into Babel, into Mashiach, are 14 generations.
This is True News, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth, so help us God. I'm Rick Wiles. A popular conference that is attracting a lot of Trump supporters and evangelical Christians is the Reawaken America Tour. The organizer is Mr. Clay Clark, an Oklahoma business trainer who started his career as an event planner. The tour is sponsored by Charisma Magazine. The Reawaken America Tour events are typically held in churches such as John Hagee's Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, Texas, or Rodney Howard Brown's River Church in Tampa, Florida. The events are designed to look, sound, and feel like a hybrid religious revival, a political rally, and a business motivational training meeting. True News has learned that a high-level Scientologist is among the speakers touring the USA with Clay Clark. Here to tell us about it is Doc Burkhart. Sir. Doc, is going to be an interesting front of the funeral to be sitting next to the Graham family.
Yes.
And I'm talking about
Devout
heads of state, yes, but devout Christian leaders have been serving the Lord for a long time, correct?
Of video productions and everything related to exposing some of the evils of some person who's infiltrated the White House. There's a policy in Scientology dealing with the public image.